Anyway, I don't know if I said it. Welcome to week 5 of our Halloween drawing challenge. We called it Floryween on Instagram because it's easier. It's just easier to have a hashtag that says that. And anyway, I'm glad that now the community space is back. Our stream, our second camera is back. We're good to go. While I get started, let me know in the comments if you decided to go all in. I mean, things can change, of course, but like, what's your expectation about this challenge? Are you going all in? Are you going to be posting 31 posts, or are you gonna say, no, I'm gonna do it weekly because it's easier to do one post a week? Or are you gonna choose your favorites? Anyway, let me know that. I'm gonna say hi to my challenge buddies, Susan and Leslie. So nice to see you here. Okay, in the community, in the challenge hub, we, oh my God, Roxy's here. Oh, well, okay, that's that makes sense that you can't sleep. We're, it's spooky times. Okay. In the challenge hub, I left all of these templates so that we can do a fast track solution for those of you who want to catch up. And so we did Ghosted in the Woods. I still have it here for those of you. A lot of these layers are hidden, but I have let me see, I'm going to show you. So I made this solution. Basically, we're going to use the stamp that I gave you in the first week. We're going to, if we want, we're going to change the background color to have a bit of variation. And then we have templates to follow along. So instead of making the full illustration for today, that's Ghosted in the Woods with all the brushes and all the things flying around the little ghost, we can just make the ghost and the trees, and that's it. If you want to catch up, say. And then we're going to continue with the second one. This one, I'm not going to use a stamp for, because I think it's going to look cooler without it. So this is the second prompt, if I'm not mistaken. That should be for tomorrow. So we're going to start with that one and then move on and see where we get. Okay, so this is our template. What I'm going to do so that I have more space is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to make sure you duplicate it. I'm going to delete all of the others so that we can have more room here. And because I don't need the stamps, I'm also going to delete the stamps. Okay, let's create a layer on top of this. And we're going to use our color palette for the week. That's called, this is for Roxy, Night Jump Scare. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to scare you. I hope that you are able to sleep after this. So let's set as default, even though I keep going between color palettes. It's a good idea. If you don't, it's a good idea to set the one that you want as default. I'm going to use, let's see, this color right here. And I'm going to, with my favorite brush, dry ink, I'm going to start tracing this guy's robe. I will try to keep my pace up for this one because to honor the name of the workshop. But as soon as I'm done, I'm going to check the chat so that I don't fall behind there. I'm so happy to see what's going on in the community space. I know that a lot of you have started sharing your work. I saw a challenge buddy in over on Instagram that also started to share. Well, Rebecca shared her first prompt, and I think that's actually we're gonna keep that there. I think that's one of the cool thing, the new features of Instagram that I actually like is the repost feature. So whoever shares stuff on Instagram, I'm gonna repost it because I have like a whole different little space for that. Um, I don't want to. I mean, I would love to share the stuff that you share in the community space, to brag about you on Instagram. But of course, it's a private space. So first, I'm gonna ask for permission, to see if you're okay with it. I would never share it like super big, just like those like little templates that I make to share what's going on every Friday, something like that. But I will ask for permission. Don't worry. Okay, so we have this rope. Let's see. We're going to work on the face with this like little pink color. I have not seen the chat, but have you noticed? Let's do this actually behind this. Have you know what is this? A cape? Oh, I keep calling it a robe. I don't know what I'm saying. I guess it's up to me. Have you noticed that I changed the well, not the decoration, the lights, because it's October, so I needed something different, and it kind of goes with the color palette. Okay, so we're going to basically add color where the teeth are, and then go all around the face. I love what's happening. I was saying in the community space with like everyone getting their family involved. I think it's so cute. I love. I feel like a child's imagination is like precious. Like they're so pure. Like they're not. They have the best ideas. Probably it's why like the people that know a lot about creativity say that one has to consult with their inner child, because that's where all the best, I think, it's where the best inspiration comes from. I also have the other book that I wanted to show you from my childhood, speaking of that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. I may show a page, but as you know, I may also forget. So there's that. I really want to make sure that we have something to post tomorrow at the very least. Okay. So yeah, thank you for sharing. We're gonna just like, let's bring this here to make it faster. Thank you for sharing your process and your posts in the community space. I always want to encourage you to share whatever you have. It doesn't have to be finalized. It doesn't have to be, perfect looking. It's really like just to have fun and to, as I said the other day, during challenges, one creates a lot of posts and then you maybe have just a few that you want to continue to work on or that you want to keep. It's not always that one. It's very rare, actually, that it results in like a lot of them being great. But it's a good thing because you kind of work intensely for a while and then you have a few pieces that are really good. Okay, behind this, we're going to, let's see, use this kind of like super dark purple. And with a texture brush, we're going to add color over there. And with black, I don't know why I don't have black there. You see, I keep like switching palettes. We're going to focus more on the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I'm going to also duplicate the face layer so that there's no weird texture going on. And I'm going to, whoops, merge those. Okay. This one is like a bit more creepy than the ones that I've been working on. It's not it's not cute at all. I thought that for unwelcoming trick or treat, I should make something that was not welcoming, in fact. So that makes sense. Okay, let's move on to this area. As you can see, I didn't spend too much time at all on the hand because this is going to be pretty, it's going to look dark, so we don't care too much about that. And again, we're doing the fast track approach. So let's just make it black. And then on top of this, we're going to, what color is this? Oh, of course, I lost it. This one. That one right there. Okay. We're going to draw over this part. You see, like, it's much easier to follow along when there's a template because if I'm by myself, I will take a long time. And I will, as I said before, I don't like starting on my iPad. It's really, I don't know what it is about it. There's something that just doesn't work. I don't understand what. But so I start with paper, and then that paper I bring into the iPad and I trace over it. I can't improvise and start on the iPad. It's like I'm a different person. You know, like a lot of you know this because you speak more than one language. When you start speaking a different language, that you kind of like become, I don't want to say a different person, but your personality sort of like changes a little bit. Like you become more outgoing or the contrary, it depends. I feel like that with digital over analog when I'm starting. Of course, like because of so much practice, then it became easier for me to create art digitally. In the beginning, it was not easy because it's just, I mean, it's like everything else. It's a different medium. It's kind of like you have to get everything to line up with what you know. Let's see, we're gonna add some color here. And you see I'm kind of doing the same. I'm using the same for like the right. And I'm gonna use this to be faster. I'm gonna use that color over there. Okay, we have our lantern. Do we want to do something to that handle? Yes, we do. We're going to, let's see, maybe with like this color, or do we have anything lighter? This one. We're going to add a layer on top and go over this. I'll bring it back down in a moment over here. Okay. Actually, no, that's fine. What can we do about this? Can we do this? Can we do this? Okay. I have to erase a few parts so that it looks like he's actually holding it. All right. So we have our lantern. Do we need our template anymore at all? Probably not. Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna leave it there because I kind of like counted on the. You see, like because I didn't lower the opacity, I kind of counted on that being there. So I'm just going to. I'm erasing some areas that are bothering me. In any case, they're not going to be too noticeable when we add the dark background. Anyway, okay. Next up, let's work on. We're gonna add a little like weird, creepy pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern inside of this. So let's use this color. And let's see what happens here. I mean, this one is easy, so we can potentially do it freehand. We'll see how it comes out. That's too big. Okay. And with this color, actually maybe something darker. Let's go to the classic palette and create the eyes. Okay, and let's see. Just something like this doesn't have to have a lot of detail because it's gonna be really tiny. And I'm going to add some stuff on top. So, okay, there we go. Let's start. We're gonna start adding some detail to the cape robe. Let's activate the alpha lock, and we're gonna choose this color over here. And with the texture brush, we're going to think that something is hitting the skeleton, whatever this guy is, from this side. So I'm just going to add a bit of a glow over there, and maybe some on the over here too. And we are also going to add some stuff over here so that there's like a bit of shading going on. And with the other brush, I'm going to create a few details so that we can see these, whatever they're called, folds, something. This is what happens when this is more like a challenge. It's like a boot camp or something. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. But I'm trying to like I think it's really cool to see you creating stuff. So I'm trying to keep everyone like kind of like going, trying to help out with that. We're going to add a bit of pink to the face. So we're going to also activate the alpha lock. Okay, that's too much. Just like a little detail. And we're also, let's bring the background here because I really need to see what's going on. Okay, so we're turning off the lights. That's what I also like thinking about when I'm creating an illustration. I like thinking about what happens if with this, I'm creating an illustration and then all of a sudden say, what happens if I turn off the lights here? How would this look? And so I focus on the color palette for that. Okay, on top of that jack-o'-lantern, we're going to add a bit of a glow too. And kind of like expand it. And what we're gonna do is play around with the opacity, with blending mode. Uh, let's see here. No. Let me see. Because we want it to be obviously visible, but it's having a weird light party. Okay, wait. What is that? I just saw the one that I want here. Screen? Okay. And I'm also going to, with the texture brush and the eraser tool, like erase a little bit of this area. It could be screen, it could be, let's see, what happens if we, okay, maybe something like that. We duplicate that layer and we have like kind of blows. He's heading towards the house that he's going to he's going to haunt or something. All right. So we have this guy, more or less. What we want to do now is make it postable, if you will. So let's see. On the very bottom, we're going to add a layer, and we're going to use the blob technique. We're going to, with honestly, let's see, the darker color. We're going to do this. Going to be the same as the background. Hang on. I'm going to hide it for a moment so that I can see what I'm doing. We're going to do something like that. You can't see it because it's on the very bottom, but let me show you. Oh no. Something like that. I mean, it's really like very easy. And we're going to fill it in with color. Let's bring him back. Okay. I'm going to duplicate it a couple of times and merge. And I'm going to bring back the background, because what we're going to do now is create a clipping mask. Let's see if I do this. I'm going to try something. No, it's not going to work. I think I have to make all of them clipping masks. Let me see. I'm going to make all of them up to this. I'm going to call it monster. Clipping mask. That's fine. We don't need to make that one a clipping mask. And you see this guy is out, so I'm just going to erase that. Okay. What we're going to do now is create a layer on top of this, and with a texture brush and a darker color, so we're going to go to classic. I'm going to start doing this. And so now we should be able to kind of see the blob. And, you know, it adds a little something. And then with black, I'm going to add a bit more color shade, if you will, back there. And I want to add a few, let's see, with the first brushes, I think. No. Yes, the first brushes that I gave you. Week 2. The brushes are called, or the brush set is called Harvest. This like dry leaves 2 guy is probably going to help us. What we're going to do, because I think I set it up differently, is go to the brush and remove the scatter in the shape area. And we want it to be, let's see, working behind the scenes. We want it to be a bit bigger maybe. So we're going to go to properties and adjust the maximum size to 600 or something. Okay. And then on top of all of this, I want to create something with this. That's too bright. Okay, maybe it's still too bright. Let me see. This one? Yeah, but that's the same. Okay, we want something like that, but slightly darker so that it can be different from this top layer here. Let's see. Okay. Maybe something like that. And we want to add a lot of this down here. Like that. It's kind of like, I don't know, to play a bit around with like the idea of what's going on here, like where maybe he's in the middle of the woods. He's heading. Let's also pick something darker here to add a few more on top. Okay. And now the final details so that we can move on to the next prompt and I can catch up with the chat. We're going to pick this one, branch decor. And with this color, this one has a bit more contrast. We're going to add a few branches here and there. And finally, with yellow that we don't have in the new palette, this can go in the same layer actually. And our brush, let's add a bit of magic. So you see, in like half an hour, we created one of our posts with a bit of help. So tomorrow we can rest or work on the following one. No, we're going to work on the following one now so that we can rest for a couple of days. Okay, there we go. We have our guy. This is unwelcoming trick or treat. Let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna, again, duplicate the first template and delete everything that I don't need. So let's see. I'm going to keep spooky branches and too scared to knock because that's the prompt. Let's delete the rest. So we have space. We don't need the stamps. Okay. Now I'm going to try to see the chat and work. We'll see how it goes. Before doing anything else, I'm going to create a layer on top. And let me see 1 second. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on. Why did I miss everything? I missed so much. I'm so happy to see you all here. Thank you for joining in. Okay. I'm going to try to see a few things, but let's not distract myself, because if not, we're gonna stay here for 3 hours, and we need some of you to sleep. I'm not saying that you're distracting me, by the way. I'm not. I'm the scattered brain here. Okay, so as usual, I start with like a lighter background so that we can see what's going on. And then we're going to go darker and darker. So let's start with our little guy, our little ghost. With white. I don't have white here, but it's okay. We created a layer on top, and this guy is super easy. We're just gonna go all around it. And okay. And let's see. We have to bring it back because I need to see what's going on. I always do that to get rid of the textures. And on top, let me see here. Let's work first on the jack-o'-lantern. I love that you've been sharing stuff in the inspiration and resources new room, shall we call it. it's so cool to see those events. Pumpkin, I will forget the names, but rice, jack-o'-lantern something, and great jack-o'-lantern blaze, and a few more. I think it's the best place to get inspiration for these, especially some of the prompts that have a lot of kind of like they talk about jack-o'-lanterns or pumpkins. We don't want to create or keep creating the same one over and over. We want to add or get inspired by those extremely cool and creative pumpkins. I don't know how they do that. It's very, very intricate and really cool to get inspired by. And the way that they play with the lights too. Those events are something that if one can, one shouldn't miss. Okay, this is easy. We're just going to basically paint all around and then fill in with color. And I have to actually do this to keep that area free. Let's duplicate it a couple of times. And we're also going to make this one glow. But first, let's take care of our ghost. Is this layer empty? Yes, it is. We're going to, if it's not empty, we're going to create a layer on top of everything and get black and add little eyes. I saw that there's so much going on, by the way, in terms of challenges at this time of the year. Apart from like the Inktober one or ones, because I mean everyone joins in to create their own version of Inktober. But I mean, there's a lot going on, a lot of different ones. So I'm sure that if you want to create stuff for, you know, that will fit these prompts and others, you can, because there's so much. This guy looks so sad. Oh my god. He's he's supposed to be scared, but he's more like unsure and sad. If we want to make him a bit more curious, we can make the mouth slightly bigger. I was going somewhere with what I was saying, but of course, I got lost. The other day, I could like catch myself in the middle of my thoughts because it was a bit earlier, but not gonna happen today, I don't think. I'm gonna make the face slightly bigger. Okay. And now we're going to, on top of these hands, we're going to get, let's see, a gray color, so that it's not that noticeable, but it is still there. We're going to draw around it. Other things that have been really inspiring is there were like a few posts with, there was one with a spider that was very creepy, and I loved it because it's so on theme. And there was one with the, was it a jack-o'-lantern or a diorama? A carved pumpkin. Actually, I'm just remembering now, one of the prompts is called carving craze. So that's a good one to go to the inspiration and resources area and take a look at all those pumpkins. Okay, I think, no, we're not going to get rid of the template. What I'm doing is sometimes I'm erasing part of the template so that it doesn't bother me. But we're going to keep some stuff so that we can go faster. Okay, we're just keeping, for this one, we're keeping the handle right there. And now we're going to take care of that door. And then we'll take care of the glow. So let's create a layer on top. Let me see here. I'm going to make it, no, we're going to work on the matte first. This is also kind of like a matte that glows, because with the contrast in colors, usually it looks like it's glowing. That's the effect that we want to go for here. I'm not sure, now that I'm thinking about analog stuff, I'm not sure how one can achieve the same result. Maybe you can. I'm thinking how you can do this with pencils. Maybe you can. Maybe it's better with, I don't know if you can with markers. It depends. It depends on if you're using something that blends or if you're using something that's more opaque. But definitely with that ink that I was talking about the other day that glows in the dark, if you're using a black light, then that's for sure. Or phosphorescent ink. The problem with those things is that in general, it's really hard to take a cool picture of them, because for whatever reason, all of those things don't show the same way on camera. I mean, you can do it if you record a video, but it's, in my experience, it's never the same. Let me see here. Especially when you're taking a picture. Okay, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to, with the selection tool, we're going to get this welcome. And what am I doing? Cut and paste so that it automatically goes to a new layer. And I'm going to turn it into alpha lock. And let's see. We want this to be slightly darker. So we're going to fill the layer, and that's going to be our welcome. Maybe slightly darker. Okay. And then let me try something here, because I wanted to kind of like, I want the glow to expand a little bit. So I'm not going to create a clipping mask. I'm just going to stick to that shape on top of it. No, that's going to be too much of a difference. I'm going to get something lighter, a bit lighter. We adjust everything here. It's on the go kind of art. Okay. I want to do something like this. And I'm going to obviously do it under that so that I can see the welcome, or behind it, depending on how you think about layers. And then with a little bit of yellow, I'm going to add a few details for extra glow. Okay. This is like a... This door is also not... it's kind of like the door... It's the door that belongs to the house of the previous character. I think that character lives in that house. I don't know if I shared this in the community space or in that PDF guide that some of you won. But one of the questions that I ask myself let's actually keep a few black lines here. One of the questions that I ask myself when I'm creating something or when I'm stuck is, where does my character live? Where do I envision them living? How's their house? What's their climate like? What decoration do they have in their house? What, all of those things. I kind of like visualizing. A character is not just a drawing. It includes all of these other things. I'm going to bring some of those lines back. I don't know why I erased them. Okay. There we go. It includes like all these... there's like a lot of like it has like a backpack of meaning that is carrying around. So you are not going to see it in the drawing kind of like directly, but you're going to see it when you're working, when you're creating... I'm going around the door, by the way. I'm tracing over it. When you're creating the character, you're going to be thinking of all these things. And so it's going to have, a certain demeanor, and it's going to be carrying something with it. It's going to be a certain shape, and all these things are going to be part of, or are going to be shaped by these questions that you ask yourself ahead of time. Okay, we have our door. What do you say? Are we going to be able to tackle more than two? We don't know. We have our door. We are going to need to add a lot of glow to all of this. First of all, let's add the background that I want. And actually, for this, I'm going to create a layer on the very bottom, so above the background color. And with texture in black, I'm just going to do that. This is easy because we go all around the frame. And then we kind of like inch inwards. Inward. And then kind of like make those corners a bit softer. Honestly, the thing that we want to be seen the most is obviously our character and our door of doom. Okay, so let me see. let's work a little bit on the glow behind this ghost with, we're going to go back to our original color palette. And actually, we may need to borrow something else because that's not light enough. Okay. I'm going to get like a lilac color, and behind this I'm going to just add, like, again, a glow all around it. And what I've been trying to do with my prompts, like I told you about the fast track, I would like to call it something else because fast track sounds like, it doesn't sound spooky enough, but we have a lot of things to be thinking about. So I couldn't come up with anything else. I've been trying to simplify so that we can basically deliver the same idea and the same message or the same story, the same concept. I'm adding a bit of pink over there, similar to our previous character. Let me see. Okay, we're gonna add glow to the pumpkin. We could go a lot simpler than this, but I've been trying to simplify and still have something that we kind of look forward to making. My point is, when you find yourself, maybe if you want to catch up with your own things, your own illustrations, try to think, how much can I frame or crop, I should say. How much should I crop? And without getting rid of what I intend to say with this story. You saw what I did there. I created a glow like behind the pumpkin and also above, so that it looks like it's coming through the top part. How many things can I remove so that I can spend less time on this illustration? Not there, I'm sorry. This one has to be, I'm creating like a bit of a darker, we want the inside of this pumpkin to be a bit darker. So we are going to add a layer behind it or below it. Anyway, one can always remove and crop things out of illustrations. Originally, you can create a thumbnail or a sketch, a quick sketch with a lot of ideas. But as you get closer to a deadline or the time to create the final illustration, maybe you want to consider, okay, I can remove some stuff so that I can actually create more of these, especially for the challenge, and not lose what I intended to make. So for instance, in this one, I could also just, create like a crop of this area, or just show the door. Just like, I'm gonna obviously like keep working on this door, but just like, to make it very scary looking, and then it's like that's it. It's like too scared to knock. That's it goes with that prompt. Anyway, let's actually make it scary so that we can. I hope that what I wanted to say made sense. So on top of everything else, oh no, now you can see me. Let me see if I can. That's not going to change too much. Anyway, on top of everything else, we're going to create a new layer. And with orange, we're going to try to make a few. These are like kind of like pumpkins, pumpkin lights. So I mean, this guy is scary, but he still wants to decorate his house. Okay. The good thing is that we don't have too many of those. So we're gonna go all around that, and then we're also going to add a few like fruits here and there, and all of these are going to glow. We're gonna try to make them glow. Okay. I wish I had two more eyes to see the chat, because I'm actually, every time that I'm working on these workshops, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm missing all the fun there. Sometimes I don't miss the fun, and then we go over time. How does one get better at that? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to create a layer on top, and with yellow and a texture, we're going to add this glow. This goes like on top and also behind. So first, let's go all over these guys. And now let's create layer behind and do the same, so that again, it looks like it's glowing. And then we have those like the spooky branches from the frame that I provided are also part of this door. So anyway, that's kind of like, you can keep adding maybe like a few details on the fruits, maybe a few extra ones there, so that those like actually glow. Because otherwise they're on black, it's not going to be noticeable. I think we have a few more here. Let's add the layer that it belongs, something with orange. And then on top of everything else, we can also add a few white little dots for extra glow. Okay. So let's make the door. We actually have in our template, if we go back to the layer, we can grab with our selection tool. It's going to be somewhere there. Oh no, I lost my Can you see there? No. Where is my ghost? I can't. It's like not having my glasses, my sunglasses. I must get it back. Okay. There we go. It's back. Okay, let's see here. We're going to grab that and with a selection tool, and then cut and paste. So we're going to bring this up to have something to knock the door with. Let's activate the alpha lock and fill the layer so that we know what we're doing. And we're going to use this so that we can do it faster. With our white, we're going to, no, we can't do that. Okay, let's just create a layer on top. Okay. And I want those areas, obviously, like I want this little nose to be black. So I'm gonna make it black now. Let's do something different. I'm gonna get rid of the door for a moment, because otherwise it's very it's not very easy to know what we're doing. We're going to hide that door, and I'm going to make the template for this, uh, you know, reduce the opacity. And now we're going to work. There we go. Okay. Does anyone, I'm sorry that I will pay attention now. Does anyone have their post ready for tomorrow? Uh, Ready to go out of the oven? um, or are you using this workshop to create it? I want to see if I'm so excited because I think that today's um, oh, that's so cool. I love this. That makes sense, and that's a good thing because that's why we want to be here, right? To like to actually work on our prompts. That was our goal. So thank you, Leslie, for letting me know. You're right. We're all working. So, but if anyone is available, let me know. Let me know if you have something else to post other than this illustration that we just worked on, because I'm excited about tomorrow, because what happened with the first prompt was that there was a specific workshop for that one. So in general, I was expecting for it to be more or less kind of like on the same looking in a similar theme, if you want. But until today, for the second one, we didn't have a lot other than our own thumbnails. So I'm excited to see if like someone prepared, something else. Okay, with orange, we're going to make this. And I wonder, I'm trying to like think. I have it ready. Okay. Let's see. Oh, cool. Ruth is here. Nice. I have an image ready. I've been trying to get myself organized to post it somewhere today, but I haven't gotten it anywhere yet. Okay. Well, that's good. Um, like as long as it's ready, even if you're unsure, like the ghost, I think it's great. You can post it either again in the community space if you think that it's either rough or that it's not finished or that it's whatever, or on Instagram, wherever you want. It's honestly what I love seeing is us creating, just having fun with the prompts. And as you know, like I get really excited about all of this. I honestly do. It's not. You may say, oh, Flori, you're overdoing it a little bit, but I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. I get very excited about where different challenge buddies take the prompts. To me, it's like the most fun thing out of all of this. It's not running or saying oh no, I don't have enough posts, whatever. No, to me the best part is um how our creativities kind of show through our ideas and what we eventually also create or have after, once we work a little bit more on it. But the first ideas are really cool because there's a lot of potential there. Okay, with purple, I'm actually like adding this like little glow, and I'm going to erase No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to erase around, maybe also with a texture brush, because otherwise there's like a lot of contrast, a lot of, I wanted to keep the texture there. Okay. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's add a few lines on top with purple, like this. Very loose lines. So just by the contrast in color, it also looks like there's something kind of like lit there. And maybe with orange as well. All right. Okay. Do we have our illustration? We may have it. I think it's done. We could add some more details to the pumpkin, but let me see if we can. Okay, that's it. That is it. We have our illustration for Friday. Too scared to knock. As I always say, remember to sign it. I have like in the past I have hidden my signatures a little bit, so like maybe I would put it like on the door. I mean that wouldn't be too hidden because it shows a lot. Maybe like by the doormat. It's kind of like an Easter egg. You have to find it. Anyway, something to like consider. I'm not gonna do it like too not gonna think about it too much now. Okay, so what else? We have two illustrations. Let me see here if we can like make something really 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 fast. Let's erase these two. I don't think I'm going to be able to tackle this one. This would be for Saturday. I may be able to create a short video for this. I don't want to promise anything because I promise a lot sometimes, and I know that now that the challenge actually started, I'm like, no, I want to have the workshops ready for you and the illustrations ready to post, and I don't want to overwhelm with too many videos. So maybe this one is we actually created in last week's Thursday live workshop. We created one for Gots More Firewood and Mischievous Ghost, but this is like a good example. I'm going to use that stamp and this. This is a good example for something that you can, like crop more and more until like its very essence is left behind. That's what I was trying to say before. I think that it's a cool thing to do when you're trying to create stuff fast. So we wanted to also glow. So let's make the background. Let's make the background this color. Okay. And let's think. You also have, by the way, like all these other templates to work with if you need them. You can play around with the techniques that we learned today. If I can't make those videos, I'm going to try my best. I really am. But if you want to like keep working now because maybe you're inspired or you can't sleep, play around with those templates this same way so that you also have something in case you can't create something else, you have something to post. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get my regular brush, and these are some like ghost hands. uh, or arms, I should say. So we're focusing on, the firewood and the marshmallows, because that's what the prompt is about. We're going to bring the dots up all the way so that the stamp is there. What am I doing? Okay. And now for the fire, we may want a pink. So remember to create a layer on top. I mean, look, this is very simple. We can even have it on the same layer, to be honest. If you don't want to move it, just have it on the same layer because it's not overlapping. By the way, coloring. I wanted to talk about this. Adding color and color palettes are a whole art in itself. So you don't suck. It's like very hard. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. It takes a long time to. I mean, I don't mean to be. Sometimes I hear myself after I say things, and it's like, what? I don't want to sound discouraging. My point is, sometimes like it's easier to learn at first by applying the techniques that others teach you to understand how color works. It's until you get it and you say, okay, I want to sit down and create my own color palette. It takes a little bit. It's not. No one sucks at it. It's hard. Okay. As you can see, I'm trying to make this glow with different colors, the same way that we did before. So I don't want to, sound too repetitive. I'm going to, let's see, with white, just make these marshmallows so that we can finish this up. Okay. And then with purple, it's one of those things that when you get it, you say, oh, it's kind of like, again, it's kind of like with the language thing. You start seeing that it makes sense, but it's not easy. There is obviously a like color theory that one can learn and the things that go well together, and the complementary colors, whatever they're called. I forget. I learned it a really long time ago. And I may have learned it. Well, I have learned it in Spanish. And so whoops. There, we flooded the canvas. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. I had to close that shape all the way. Anyway, there is a theory, obviously, behind it, but mostly, as everything else in practice, we're going to actually do this. We're going to bring this new layer down here, and we're going to create a clipping mask so that I can add some sort of ground. Once it makes sense, it's kind of like music to your ears. It all works out. But it takes a little bit of practice and trial and error to make it work. Okay. On top of everything, we're going to... Actually, let's just add some like little details with dots. Those always help out. When you don't know what you're doing and you have created too much, Sometimes that's another thing that happens a lot when you're creating something for a long time. If it's one same illustration or many different ones, it doesn't matter. uh Sometimes you need to like get away from it. Your eyes like become, like, everything becomes the same. Like you don't see mistakes is like an unfair word sometimes. You don't see what's wrong. You sometimes doesn't work. Something doesn't work, and you don't see what's wrong with it until you get away from it for a while. Maybe sleep on it, whatever it is, and then it becomes better. Okay, so there we have our God's S'more Firewood illustration. Didn't take too long. What was that? 10 minutes maybe? Um, and then we have something there that we can use to post. So that is everything that we could accomplish today. We can also, if you want, we can change the background. I think the other one looked better, but my point is you can play around and have different illustrations. And this one, I wanted to say something about this one before we leave. Let me see here. I'm going to combine all of this so that I can show you. I want to show you something. Okay. So for a moment, I'm just going to do that. So you can have, these templates. This one is the, what is this one? I have it right here. Dime for a trophy. So you have like the two little ghosts there celebrating something. a bit too late. I feel like it was supposed to be cute, but then when you think about it a little bit, it's not. Okay. You have that one. We already worked on that one. You have diorama. You have this shelves with trinkets. For this one, you need to use the other stamp if you want to use it exactly like that. But you see, like all of them are super simple. This is another one that I simplified. That I cropped out so that I could. Sometimes also cropping out things makes them gain strength. That's another thing that I wanted to tell you. It's, you don't need to see, the whole picture for something to have meaning or to communicate its meaning. Sometimes like less is more. So a lot of times actually, so that use that to your benefit is what I was trying to say. Okay. So one last thing I wanted to say, because I forgot to update the little countdown thing and then I lost it, but it's fine. This week we're not going to have a giveaway, but a really cool thing is on the horizon. So whoever entered this week's giveaway, it's going to be entered to that. I'm not going to say anything because it's a surprise. So stay tuned for that. I didn't want to do like a lot of other things this week because I want us to focus on the challenge itself. But you will be entered into that other thing. Anyway, we did it. We created 3 prompts. That's not bad. So I hope that I'll see a lot of cool creations tomorrow. I know they'll be cool. I hope that you'll want to share them with me and with all of our challenge buddies. And I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you in the community space. And remember, if it fails like this morning, we have the Discord server, channel, whatever it's called. I don't know any of the terms. Anyway, we have that there in case, to fall back on. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to read your comments now. I'm going to catch up with the chat after I end the stream. And thank you so much, as usual, for hanging out with me during Wednesday nights. I'll see you next time.